was gonna.
That's a special laptop? Okay. All right. So, beginning this evening, November 20th, all Board of Adjustment meetings will be held in person in the meeting hall on the second floor of the Bernardsville Municipal Building at 166 Minebrook Road. Meetings will be live streamed on YouTube with no opportunity for public comment. Members of the public wishing to offer comments or ask questions will be required to attend meetings in person. The YouTube live stream access for all meetings is this big long string. This link will also be available on the agenda for each meeting, which is posted on the Borough website and on the Borough Hall Public Bulletin Board at least 48 hours prior to meetings. Notice of these changes has also been emailed to the Bernardsville News and Courier News by posting a copy on the Borough website and by filing a copy of the municipal clerk on October 5th, 2023. We need to work on this. It is the intention of the board not to continue any matter past 11 p.m. at any regular or special meeting of the board unless a motion is passed by the members then present. To extend to a later specified cutoff time, and same shall be announced at the opening of each meeting. Members of the public may participate in meetings at certain designated times as announced by the board chair. Members of the public will be permitted to address applicants and their experts, ask questions and or make comments as appropriate once invited to do so. Any hearing conducted by the board is a quasi-judicial proceeding. Any questions or comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision. The quorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must be maintained at all times. Roll call, please.
Mr. Beatybaum?
Here.
Mr. Trainer is absent. Mr. McDowell?
Here.
Mr. Taylor is absent. Mr. Sedlak is absent. Mr. Saliard?
Here.
Mr. Del Russo is absent. Mr. Slocum?
Here.
Ms. Walker is absent. Mr. Malone?
Here.
Okay, we don't have any communications. We don't have any old business. We have an application this evening, Liberty Farms Dog LLC. Application number 23-04. Because of a medical emergency, we actually cannot hear applications this evening because we have to have a short meeting. Anthony can't stay the whole evening. As I mentioned, Denise had to fly out of town to Florida. So that application will be continued to December 4th. Will be heard in this meeting room at 7:30. No further notice is required. The only other thing we have here is new business, which is a bill list. Oh, I take that back. We have meeting minutes. I skipped over that. We have meeting minutes from September 18th, which was our last Zoom meeting. Which was also a very short meeting, as I recall. If anybody has any, does anybody have any additions or corrections to the minutes? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. We have a bill list.
1 second on that, Mr.
Sure.
Chairman. Will we see the cleaned up version of the memorialized resolution? Like, will we be able to get that? Because I know in the minutes, it said it made the adjustments for the ADA regulations, but in the resolution that we originally got, that we went over last meeting, I never got a final one.
We typically don't do that, Mark.
Oh, okay.
We typically
Even with
don't.
the change, like it won't.
After we make the adjustments in the meeting, it goes through Denise and Lou to be finalized.
Okay.
And then it gets signed. Denise signs it. I don't sign it. And it also gets published.
Okay, thank you.
So it would have been published in the Bernardsville News, the corrected version. And if you want a copy, ask Denise.
Yeah, that's Denise, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have bill list. The only one who wants to be paid is John. Should we pay John?
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
I thank you. My mortgage thanks you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Greenbaum?
Yes.
Mr. McDowell?
Yes.
Mr. Salier?
Yes.
Mr. Slocum?
Yes.
Mr. Noah?
Yes.
Yeah, should have waited for the vote, huh?
Should have waited for the vote.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. So then we have our pending applications. Of course, this application, Liberty Farm Dogs, will be heard on December 4th. On the docket, we've got Upton Pines, which seems to be big time limbo. We've heard about it.
They have all the reviews, we just haven't heard from them. I don't.
They haven't made application.
I'm sorry,
They have not made application.
well, because they have to decide whether they're gonna do the non-conforming house, the two family cottages, principal uses on all that, or they wanted to separate them all
Okay, because I have no idea what that, because you saw it because it went to the
out.
planning.
Right.
What are the issues? What are they doing?
They're subdividing, there are multiple dwellings on some of the lots, which is not permitted, but now they, you know, what complicates things, the borough just passing an ordinance to allow accessory apartments, so that may not come here, that might get resolved, planning board, depending on how that works, but right now, the multiple dwellings in one lot are not permitted.
Okay, well, as long as
That's
there's
all
enough
they're saying.
space for it.
Oh, well, yeah, that, we don't need.
If it's got, you know, they're the 10-acre zone, so if they've got two houses on 20 acres, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
So depending on which decision they make, is it still with us or could it go back
It's
to the?
still in the process, and with recent, possible amendments to the ordinance, there may be changes.
So we may not see.
You may, you probably.
All right.
So what you're saying is that the borough may consider multiple dwelling units on a single piece of property?
Accessory apartments. There's an accessory apartment that, ordinance that's kicking around, that the planning board is reviewed, right, you know, and cleaning up the rule, that's probably gonna go through.
And that was last meeting.
What would an accessory apartment look like?
Just what it sounds like, it would only be the R1, the R1A, the below 10 acres now.
The R110.
R110, and then, the one below that. It would just be, they wanted to, it's in a conundrum right now, because what the council's looking to do is legalize the apartments that are there. Why make them go for conditional use, et cetera. But there have to be some controls, so we're working those things out,
Okay,
you know.
yeah, 'cause a lot of people rent the carriage house, well, we know that,
Exactly, and
even though they're not supposed to.
they're trying to deal with that issue.
Okay. Then we have 51 Bernards Ave, which is still in process.
Yeah, there are a couple applications that just came in there, they reviewed.
It's like they're still finalizing their plans. Bob reviewed and sent something back. Rachel Hagar. Constructed detached garage accessory to existing non-conforming dwelling, deemed incomplete. So that one obviously has more work to be done.
Or they can come in and ask for waivers, it's their choice. And the board decides whether they want to grant waivers or not.
Same thing with Tussar as it was 51 Bernards. Bob Bradley sent them a nice letter and they're making changes to the plans. And then finally, Patrick and Rebecca Killard. An in-ground swimming pool. Impervious coverage, steep slope disturbance. And that's probably in review, I assume. Okay. There's nothing ready to be heard. I thought I read something that the Hagar is scheduled for, well, no, it's not. So the only thing we've got for the 4th will be Liberty Farm Dogs.
I will be, Mr. Chair, on vacation that week, but I will have Dave Novak at principal for,
Okay.
you know, Dave, I'm sure you.
Yes.
you did.
And the other little gem that I want to let everybody know on the board is that the town received, I don't know if you know or not, I think we mentioned it. Paul Ferrero is merging his firm in with Boswell, Kevin Boswell.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we talked about that. Yeah, well, we got the new rate schedule. We're not happy.
That's why we vote on it in January.
Yeah. So I know the planning board is not happy. And I don't know if the borough council found out yet, if they're happy or not. But the rates went up astronomically.
The planning board is going to probably be asking for an RFP to go up just so they have some basis to compare. But it could very well be that that's the going rate. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Can we piggyback on that?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned you might want to coordinate with the meetings.
Yeah, Denise knows. I've already talked with Denise.
Oh, okay.
Then she could coordinate it and make it a board, planning board, board of adjustment, engineering service.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I spoke with her about it. Tail end of last week. I think that's sort of when we found out.
I think, and Bob understands that. I mean, he has no control over the pricing, the hourly rates.
Right, that's Kevin.
That's the Boswell firm. And the board felt, but they needed some platforms and context in which to judge that.
Mhm.
To see how it fares with other firms.
Yeah, basically the rate went up about 65%. And what I really objected to, and you can mention this to Bob if you happen to talk to him. What I really objected to was Paul's note that said, well, gee, most of the work is paid for out of escrow by the applicants. So you shouldn't really care. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that I should screw my fellow citizens. That's just a wrong message to send.
Yeah, not coming out of your pocket.
Yeah, not coming out of the borough's pocket. So, and by the way, we don't have to be in person at every meeting. If the applicants did a better job of preparing their information and reading what the engineers sent, then, we wouldn't have to be at the meeting. And I don't know, is there a meeting that we've had where we haven't used Bob's services in the meeting to explain things to us?
Only meetings like this where we're paying bills.
Yeah. I mean, we always want the input. And, the reports are nice, but we want the actual verbiage input. So, yeah, I really took an objection to that note. I don't think that was the right message to send.
We'll get the market rates and we'll make a decision.
Yeah. So I've talked with Denise about that. And so I'm sure that we're gonna be connected together. And he's the borough engineer as well. I mean, he supports John McDowell and Doug. So they're the ones gonna be paying $240 an hour. What's our taxes?
Thus we own
Yeah, so we're paying for it.
it. And then John's gonna be like, hey, look at me, I got a little headroom here.
Yeah, okay.
What?
Is it anticipated?
I didn't think of that.
RFP?
And now I got a great idea. Thank you.
Welcome.
Do you know what the timeframe on the RFP is? John? Do you know what the timeframe on the RFP is gonna be, just like by year end or?
I have no idea. I'm not preparing the engineer.
And now we're gonna see a rate increase in purchase. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I'm sure there's.
Only be 40%. Lou's not here, so everybody calm down.
No, Lou got a good deal. He likes his deal.
Okay.
That's the John Lynch deal. We've had that rate in place for years.
That's exactly what Paul was thinking. I've had this rate in place for years.
Yeah. And Kevin said, I don't want it that rate. I want my new Maserati. All right.
All right.
Anyway, so that's what's doing. So on December 4th, we will hear Lodi Farm Dogs. It will be in person because that was noticed in person. And I told Denise, I'm sort of done with trying in-person meetings. I want to go back to virtual. There's fewer issues. So whoever's running the meeting, whether it's Anthony or Denise, can be sitting at home doing it. and doesn't have to come into Borough Hall. So I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm sort of done with in person.
Is that an option though? I mean, with the issue that the planning board had, or, you know, do we have the
So-
authority to do it?
And that would be my question, do we have the authority to stay, this for staying involved?
So
Or was we told to go back?
we were told to come back because there was a security issue with the virtual planning board meeting. And from my perspective, and I'm speaking from as me, as the security person that I am. There were some mistakes made in the administration of and setup of the call. So that it allowed somebody to come in. I object to the word hacked. We weren't hacked. Somebody let them come in. And the other thing is that whether we let them in or not, what they did was an assault. It was a sexual assault. They were putting all kinds of crap up on video stream. And I don't know if it was done or not, but that should go straight to the FBI. Because anything internet related is a federal crime. Period, flat, end of statement. Because it crosses state lines, they don't know, where they are, anything internet related goes straight to the FBI. I don't know if we did that. I don't know if the borough did that or not. No clue. So I've been trying to connect with Nancy to find out. And the bottom line is the Zoom platform is secure if you use it right. I mean, people have classes on this thing, in colleges, high school, middle school,
Courts.
the court system, everybody's been using this thing. It is secure if you use it right. So, take that problem off the plate. It's a good platform, and I'm perfectly happy staying virtual. I know lots of boards have gone back to in-person, some boards never went to virtual. I don't know, I think that our board's done pretty well with it. And I think people like not having to drive down to Borough Hall.
I'll do what you do.
I mean, it's easier for the attorneys, it's easier for the applicants, they're sitting in their kitchen. The attorneys are sitting in their office, or they're sitting in their house. Lou sits in his house, he doesn't have to drive down.
I don't know, but I hear better. I wear my headphones, I can see the exhibits better.
I still like the paper exhibits.
I know, I see what's in the
Yeah.
paper. But for me, I do everything on big screens. I have mega screens, so it's easy.
Yeah, well, I have a nice solid cherry desk, and I'm not putting giant screens on it.
So if we decide as a board that we want to go back to virtual, can we, or is the council going to?
No, the council can't tell us what to do. Not where that's concerned. If we want to do virtual, we can do virtual. So, I mean, the only reason why we switched back to in person was because something got out of hand with the planning board again in October. And in this format, it can't get out of hand. But that's why I wanted to dig a little bit further into it, because I know that the Zoom platform is secure. Somebody did something that'll let this happen, whether it was they admitted a person that shouldn't have been admitted. You remember, you had to go through the waiting room with Frank.
Yeah.
So change of person driving the meetings, and it just could have been a mistake that somebody made. I don't know. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna try and say anybody did anything wrong. I don't know. I don't have the information, but I do know that the Zoom platform can be secure if it's used right. And you don't get problems like that. So my 2 cents, 2 things need to happen. 1, use the platform correctly. 2, let the FBI go handle whatever somebody did. And I'll find out that they really shouldn't have done that. The FBI is real good at that. So that's my 2 cents. I would like to go back to virtual because I think, like I said, if we have issues with supporting the meeting, it becomes very easy just to transition. Because Anthony's the backup for Denise. And he just didn't have enough time to know what was going on tonight. Which is why we're pushing off the application. And I hope everything's okay with Denise's father. He had to fly to Florida. Anybody have anything else? Okay. I think that's the end of the agenda.
Then I'll make my first motion to adjourn in person in 3.5 years.
Second. All in favor?
I.
All right.